Hi, my name is Harry Gill and I worked on FMS Securities Case B valuation. So first we were asked to calculate the nominal return and effective rate of return, and we were given par value, dividend, and price per share. Annual dividend was $4.32, and then dividing that and getting quarterly dividends of $1.08. From there, I divided $1.08 by the price per share to receive a quarterly return of 2.25%, multiplying that by 4 to get a nominal return of 9%. And then effective rate of return was calculated by 1 plus nominal rate divided by 4 and raising it to the fourth power minus 1 to get 9.31%. So next we were asked to calculate the price per share with 60,000 shares being redeemed for 5 years, starting from 300,000 shares in year 1 and going down to 60,000 shares in year 5. And after totaling all the present values of the 5 years, I received $31,322,068.08 for total present value, and then dividing that by 300,000 shares to receive a price per share of $104.41. Next, we were asked to calculate the rate of return, and this was done by dividing dividend by price per share and then adding that to the growth rate to receive 14.09%. Next was dividend yield, and this was done by dividing the dividend by price per share and receiving a dividend yield of 8.09%. Then the capital gains yield was done by price 1, which was $23.60, and subtracting that from $22.26 and dividing it by price 0 of $22.26 to receive a capital gains yield of 6%. What conditions must we hold to use the constant growth model? Do many real-world stocks satisfy the constant growth model? In order to use the constant growth model, dividends have to grow at a constant rate on a perpetual basis, but in the real world, corporations don't always have constant dividend growth. Next, what was the value of Energy stock on January 1st, 2003? This was done by multiplying the dividends by the growth rate, and then on year 5, it's growing at a perpetual basis of 7.5%. So after getting the present value of each year and summing them up, I received a price per share of $28.56. We were asked to calculate what the price for the beginning price per share for 2004 was, which was done the same way as the previous problem, but we just take out the first year. So now the stock grows from 2004 on at 6%, and then on year 5 at 7.5% on a perpetual basis. And after summing up all the present values, I received a price per share of $30.62. And then for 5B, we were asked to do the same thing for 2005. And after doing all the present values, I received a price per share of $32.85. So what is the expected dividend yield and capital gains yield and total return for 2003? So I divided $1.80, which was the dividend, by the price per share of $28.56 to receive a dividend yield of 6.30%. And then capital gains was done by subtracting price 1 from price 0 and dividing by price 0 to get a capital gains yield of 7.21%. Expected return was done by adding dividend yield plus capital gain yield to receive 13.52%. Next, we're asked to get the present value of the stock for the next 5 years with no growth rate for the first 5 years, and then a growth rate for a perpetual basis at 6%, and a required rate of return of 13%. So after getting all the present values of each year, I received a price per share of 19.76%, and then asks us, would Energy Corp stock value be higher or lower than the answer in problem 4? And in this case, it was lower than the value in question 4. Next, energy stock price is $22.26 at the beginning of 2003 using the growth rates given in the introduction of this question. What is the stock's expected rate of return? And this was done by dividing the dividend one of $1.91 by the price per share and then adding the growth rate to get an expected rate of return of 14.58%. Based on the information for value and value line, assuming in the table 6% growth rate is reasonable, what has been the trend? So getting the average from year 1 to year 5 and the average rate of 7.33%. From looking at the previous years, the average growth rate was higher than the constant growth rate of 6%, so it's a good thing. Then, could those figures be used to develop and estimate a long-term sustainable growth rate? Yes, because if you look at historical dividend values, it can help us forecast future growth rates. And then lastly, does this figure support 7.5% growth rate given in the problem? And so basically, from calculating the retention ratio, which was done by 1 minus VPS minus EPS, I received 31.82%, and then the growth rate was done by retention ratio times the return on equity, and I received a growth rate of 5.09%. So this means 5.09% is lower than the 7.5% growth rate. It means it's not sustainable. Thanks.